Lightning like Steve McQueen. I'm in the fast lane when the light turns green. And I built tough, I ain't nothing but grit. Cause I made rugged blood, sweat, and spit. Yeah, like a horse I fly. Better push yourself in for a bumpy ride. I like to play hard, but I work harder. And I weather the storm cause I'm built stronger.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back. We are live. It is the Freight Coach Morning Show, the top morning show in transportation, coming to you guys every single weekday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific, 10:30 Central, where we're going to break down some industry headlines, provide some industry insight, and most importantly, give you information that you can actually use in your day-to-day. If this is your first time tuning into a lot of my content, this is my daily live show where we break down hot topics and everything else that are going on in the world. I also have a podcast, Coffee with the Freight Coach, where the audio-only version of this show is loaded up onto, and we do long-form interviews with other people in the industry to talk about best practices and everything, because, you know, frankly, guys, at the end of the day, it's why I proudly fly the American flag behind me. A, this is the greatest country on earth, but B, I'm living my American dream, and I want to see each and every one of you live your American dream as well. And that's what we're dedicated to here at the Freight Coach Network with all of the content that we put out there, which is a lot of content, but we do this because you guys, we just want to see this industry progress. It's going to be a big week this week. At the end of the day, you guys, there's the TIA conference is in town. It's out here in Phoenix. I'm happy that I don't have to get on an airplane to travel this week. But I will be like over the next couple of weeks. But anyways, that's a conversation for another day. But yeah, the TIA is in town. I'm going to be doing my live show from there on Thursday. So if you see the guy with the orange shirt on with the backwards Freight Coach hat on, come by and say hi, you guys. We'll just be out there, and I'm going to be talking to people live. We'll probably go a little bit longer than normal on Thursday and everything, because, you know, shit, we got a lot to talk about, and frankly, it's my show. Do whatever I want. It's the best part about this. Before we jump into all of everything that's going on out there today, I got to give a shout out to my friends over at VHub. You guys, vhubapp.com. Check them out. We all need access to trailers at some point in time, right? Talk about a great way to separate yourself if you're a broker in a challenging freight market or any market. Customers just need access to trailers. They need access to equipment. That's one of the biggest hurdles that you have to overcome as a broker. And then if you're a small carrier or an owner operator, you don't have to shut your operation down now because your trailer's in the shop, and you actually get paid to do this. So what they're working on right now, you guys, got a lot of stuff out of my favorite city because it's Ron Burgundy's hometown, and that's San Diego, California. They got a heated van looking to head up into Spokane, Washington. Jump on VHub app and put in an offer for that. But you guys, the Pacific Northwest right now is a massive amount of freight. So that's a solid area for you to be heading into this time of year. They also have San Diego going to Selma, Texas. That's a reefer. Get paid $800 to do that. That's on top of the freight that you load out in the back of that trailer. They also have Laredo, Texas, San Diego to Laredo dry van. $600 to do that. They got a bunch of trailers out in Dallas, Texas, looking to go up to Mississauga, Ontario. Just jump on their platform, hit them up, put in an offer on there. And also, do me a favor, you guys, let them know that the Freight Coach sent you. vhubapp.com. My man Xavier Campos and my friend Stacy Steen, they'll be in the audience today. Hit them up. Let me see here. Zach Williams, what's up? Another brother of mine from Canada. He's with SPI Logistics. You guys, you want to become a freight agent and take control of your financial future, hit him up. Let me see. Nicholas Liendo, what's up? Let's go. Pat Green, what's going on, my man? How are you? Good morning. Cody Miller, good fucking morning, freight enthusiast. He's got the greatest intro line. I love that one. Erica Hamilton, good morning to you. Let's fucking go. Todd Title, good morning, sir. Good to see you in the audience here. Cody Hapke, what's up? Good morning. Let's fucking go, baby. Drew Driscoll, let's get after it this week. You are right, man. We are going to get after it this week. Phoenix, Arizona is getting represented in the house, you guys. We are the freight alley out there in the market. Yeah, it's going to be a big week this week. There's a bunch of stuff going on. Freight's going to be moving nonstop as always, you guys. And that's the best part about it. So let's do a little, this will be a solo show today. I'm going to be out here rocking out on this. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little market update. You know, I kind of fly by the seat of my pants. A lot of this stuff, you guys, I choose the articles like the day before and stuff because I like to keep it fresh. And I like to give you guys like an actual perspective and not a rehearsed perspective on a lot of my stuff. And we're going to do a little market update. I'm going to pull up some random lanes right now. And we're just going to talk about capacity in certain freight markets that are out there. And we're going to focus on outbound Houston, Texas right now, flatbed. It is tight capacity. It is pretty much one truck to one load out there right now. And then let's go. If you have any freight heading up into the upper Midwest, Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, Iowa, tight capacity going into that market inbound for flatbed freight. Let me see. Outbound Minneapolis right now is neutral market. And then inbound Houston is slightly tight capacity. So again, there's freight out there that's moving, you guys. I don't talk rates per se on here because I'm never going to tell you guys like what to quote on stuff because every customer is different. That's why I don't necessarily like the whole national average on pricing and everything that I put out there because it's very much different between every single lane out there that's going. Now let's pull up some reefer freight. Outbound Houston, slightly tight capacity. You know, there's a few more loads than there is to trucks in there. And then let's go Knoxville. Let's go Axle Logistics hometown. Let's see what their market's looking like. Let's see. Knoxville, Tennessee, inbound reefer, moderately tight capacity. There is not a lot of loads, but there's a lot of trucks. So that's good for you brokers. You know, you can get out there and find some capacity for your freight. And then let's go outbound Knoxville market. It's a neutral market as a whole. And then Houston is neutral as well. You guys, there's a lot of business. You know, that's the good thing is I'm seeing a lot of the freight volumes are holding pretty firm overall. And again, you know, we are peak-ish season, you could say. I mean, the holiday rush that's going on. I mean, a lot of you guys are out there, like freight's moving right now. And again, it's always just going to boil down to you coming up with some solutions that's out there. Riley Dietrich, good morning to you, sir. Thanks for joining me. And then, yeah, you guys. So again, like I just, at the end of the day, no matter what people are putting out there for data, we got to continuously show up for our customers. And, you know, frankly, I'm out here building up my book of business right now in my brokerage. And, you know, it's just one day at a time. You know, it's the video that I put out there about Mindset Monday. You know, you guys, it's you versus you. If you're out there, whether you're building or looking to grow and everything else, like there's a lot of noise that you're going to find yourself in. And frankly, people really only post their highlight reels out there in business and life. They don't talk about the shitty times, the constant rejection, because everybody faces it, you know. And it's like, frankly, at the end of the day, you're the only one who's going to stop you. All right. Like nobody is going to go out of their way to actually physically try and stop you. Because you're the only one who can decide if you stop or not. Nobody else can make that decision, you know? So it's like, if you're out there and you're building right now, don't get frustrated. You know, right now there's such a phenomenal opportunity in the freight market as a whole. Like with all of the ups and downs, you guys, that goes on out there, there is so much freight that is still moving. People are still making money. I mean, shit, that's one of the articles we're going to break down today. Again, it's like success leaves clues. I think we've all heard that at times. And you know, you got to look at how some of these mega carriers and mega brokers, how they operate in a lot of these markets is they're very proactive. You know, like a lot of the mega carriers were offloading equipment when equipment was at sky high prices. They were maximizing their assets right there. And then now that the market is shifting and prices are going to start to lower, shit, they're going to get out there and buy all new equipment and stuff like that. They're going to play the market for what it is. You know, like we see a lot of people come in when things are easy, when things are high, but how do you operate when things are slow and slowing down? And, you know, as a whole, we're still above pre-pandemic freight levels, but there are obvious changes that have been going on for months now in the market. And frankly, if you're still in business today, you can still be in business tomorrow. Like nobody can stop you. Like that's the mentality that you got to have. Like the industry as a whole is set up for success for anybody. That's why there's so many small fleets that are out there. That's why small fleets dominate this market and the industry that we're in, is because there's no large player that could ever come in and buy up all of that capacity. Like think about it. It's like almost $1 trillion. Depending on the person you talk to, this industry is fucking massive. You guys, the largest provider out there, like C.H. Robinson, for example, this is for all of their services as a whole, but I think they were at about 22 billion, which is fucking massive. But if you look at it in comparison to the overall freight market, that's like 2% of the freight market. So think about all of the opportunity that's out there. That's what I want you guys to really think about as a whole, how much opportunity there really is. And if you're out there attacking what everybody else is, power lanes, You're only going after big city to big city. You're only going after first come, first serve facilities. That's what everybody's doing. Take the opposite approach, you guys. Change it up a little bit. And again, just don't quit today, no matter what. Keep showing up, you guys. There's so much fucking opportunity out here. And that'll lead us into our first article, which is going to be from fleetowner.com. Knight Swift eyes acquisitions as market turns. So again, take note, Knight Swift, largest asset provider that is out there in the industry. Pay attention. What do they do in market shifts? They were one of those carriers that was offloading equipment when equipment prices were at their peak, offloading it. Now they're going to go up and swoop up a bunch of new equipment. I'm assuming, I'm not in there privy to their internal conversations. I would assume they're going to be out there swooping up pennies on the dollar equipment here coming up over these next 12 months as the markets turn and as people inevitably give up, because it's going to happen. Unfortunately, I don't want to see anybody go out of business, but people are going to choose to go out of business here during this market turn. And as always, you guys, every single article that I break down is uploaded to the Freight Coach YouTube channel, as well as the Coffee with the Freight Coach podcast, which is the audio only version. It's on iTunes and Spotify. And if you could do your boy a solid, rate it, review it, throw it all out there, it just helps the show grow. That's all I can ask from you guys at the end of it, because you guys keep showing up for me every single day. I'm going to keep showing up for you every single day. So if you could just drop a little rating out there and help your boy out, I would appreciate that. All right, Knight Swift. Knight Swift Transportation President and CEO Dave Jackson is ready to pounce. Love the verbiage there. Speaking to analysts and investors after his team reported disappointing third quarter results and lowered its forecast, Jackson devoted a large share of his comments to talking about the large carriers' plans to acquire a range of businesses. Knight Swift, which is number 4 on the fleet owners' top for hire fleets of 2022, is itself the product of a large merger in 2017, and in recent years has made a number of acquisitions, notably paying $1.3 billion for AAA Cooper, which was a massive LTL provider in the Southeast. The company followed that up with a $150 million deal for the parent company of Midwest Motor Express and Midnight Express. The work of knitting together those organizations while preserving their brands is nearly complete, Jackson said on October 19th, setting the stage for further deals to grow the super regional LTL network. Again, XPO also, you guys have recently said that there is a heavy emphasis on LTL. All right. So XPO and Knight Swift are adding to their LTL service provider. Not saying that you're going to go out there and buy an LTL service provider, but like think about that from a freight perspective. Where is that possibly shifting? Why? Why are they shifting their acquisition strategy and business strategy towards the LTL market? Think about that. Consumer goods, the less than truckload model. People are buying shit. Consumer demand is just in time. We need it now. One item thing. So you got to think, I personally think it's going to switch into like a super regional fulfillment center model that's going to be out there, because people, like with the Amazon effect, people are going to expect their shit within 1 hour. I think that's going to be a reality. And I think that's why a lot of these larger providers are switching to that, because there's going to be more of a need for that coming up. We feel like there's a lot of individuals, back to the article, sorry. We feel like there's a lot of individuals that have watched us closely and are probably watching us closely. So we feel like we're somewhat auditioning, if you will, for others that have had conversations with. This is all underway, and we feel like we're making some headway. While LTL is a natural area for Knight Swift to put to work its war chest, Jackson added that the truckload and various complementary businesses are also of interest in the Phoenix-based market. Phoenix-based company, again, we're the transportation hub of North America. If anything, Jackson said the deteriorating trucking market and the stress that it's putting on many businesses. CFO Adam Miller noted data from the U.S. Labor and Bureau of Labor Statistics showed that trucking employment fell by more than 11,000 and have stoked his appetite. We can be a source of capital and solve some issues for individuals that are looking for what's next for their business. We may be overdue for some truckload business, and there is no shortage of truckload business that is out there. Again, think about that, you guys. The largest fleet is saying that there is no shortage for truckload business out there right now. So again, is that going to make your calls for you? No, but keep that in mind when you hear other news sources out there talking about how fucking everything's falling apart. Jackson's ambition stood in the contrast of the third quarter results. Let me see, lower outlook, because he gave a lower outlook, and his team gave investors for the rest of the year because they expected a muted peak season. less spot market business and continued cost pressures. And the 3 months that ended on September 30th, they produced a net profit of 195 million versus 206 in the prior year period, even though revenues excluding fuel charge rose. Operating profits were down slightly to 265 million. The company's truckload segment, which still accounts for nearly 60% of the company's revenue, saw other income slide 15%, as rising driver pay, equipment maintenance, insurance costs outweighed an increase in revenue that's going on out there. And Jackson, as lieutenant, said truckload freight demand was below where it usually trends for a large part of the third quarter. It hasn't rebounded much this month. A number of customers, they said, have had higher inventories heading into the holiday season, which is resulting in much more orderly transportation season. So again, what that means, there is a lot less need for the rush fucking get it out now thing because there is inventory level. There's less disruption that happens when our suppliers and the warehousing is prepared for all of this stuff. They are ready for this. So there is going to be less last minute shipments. There's going to be less need to go out to the spot market. And again, as always, you guys, nobody's going to reject a contracted rate at a higher price for a lower price out there on the spot market. That's why people reject loads. It's very rarely because they don't have the capacity. They reject loads to put it out on the spot market because there's an opportunity for them to make more money as a whole. They do go on to say that there's going to be some catch up that's going to go on, but for the reasons that are going to be off. And it said that also closed out the article, but Knight-Swift shares also slightly fell as a whole. And again, you guys, that article, fleetowner.com, Knight-Swift eyes acquisitions as market turns. And, for me personally, it's, again, there's an opportunity out there for us. All right. And that's what I want you guys to focus on. There are opportunities for you guys. It's not like Knight-Swift came out and said anything that was damaging or disparaging. And it is one of those situations that we need to focus on what we can do to service our customers no matter what that is out there. And again, if Knight-Swift isn't raising any red flags, yes, there are changes that are going on, but we got to continuously show up. Let me see here. Tammy, good morning. Good to see you. Mississauga, Vitali. Whitney Fowler, what's up? Let's fucking go. Good to see you. Matthew Kane, let's fucking go. Go Phillies. Dude, that Bryce Hart, that was so baller yesterday when Bryce Hart, he essentially walked you guys off. That's fucking sealed the game. What a hit. Like, that guy is an absolute savage. All right. Next article we're going to break down, JOC.com. I trust this guy with all things intermodal more than anybody else out there. And this is Ari Ash. He wrote about this. This came out on Friday afternoon. UP confident rail labor issues will be resolved without a strike. The CEO of the Union Pacific is confident that they'll be able to avoid a strike next month, despite the country's third largest rail union voting against a tentative agreement. Ultimately, I remain confident that we're going to get all of our temporary agreements ratified and be able to avoid a strike, said Lance Fritz. It's still a possibility, but I don't think it's a probability. Fritz's comments come after the Brotherhood of Maintenance of Way Employees Division union last week said its rank and file rejected the tentative deal on the table, and that they're pushing for 56 hours of paid sick time annually. Okay, so they want 7 days of sick pay. That doesn't seem unreasonable. Rail management has countered that the president rejected the additional sick days proposal in their recommendation. Management has also said key terms of its tentative agreement, which calls for a 24% wage increase, the 5-year period covering 2020 to 2024, and immediate payout of $11,000 per employee upon ratification, and $5,000 in performance bonuses are compensation in exchange for short-term absences being unpaid. But Fritz said the primary reason they did reject it was not related to sick time. They recommended a change in their compensation for travel to work site because about 40%, sometimes more, of the work team goes to away from home sites for 7 days. They want a change in that travel allowances and a change in per diem while they're away from home. That negotiation on UP property just finished up last week, so the members were ratifying the vote. And there was a section that they really didn't have clarity to. And they said that the specific part of the agreement will now go back up to the rank and file members to reconsider the vote. I personally think that, again, I don't know what the terms are, but I would say that if I'm traveling for work or if any of my employees are traveling for work, yeah, their per diem should cover their expenses out there. It's not their responsibility to cover that. But again, if you're going to stop and buy a shirt or go shopping, like that doesn't fall under their per diem aspect of things. Let me see. The BMWED vote has stoked fears of a strike, which may occur as early as November 19th. And even more important is voting by the country's two largest rail unions, the Brotherhood of Locomotive Engineers and Trainmen, BLET, and the Sheet Metal Air Rail Transportation Workers. Whoa, that's a fucking tongue twister. Sheet Metal Air Rail Transportation Workers Transportation Division. The results are due to be announced November 17th. Each of the 12 unions need to vote individually as a deal to be met. And if they were to ratify the agreements, then BMWED may also settle. If they reject their agreements, then worries of crippling rail strike rise just before Thanksgiving. Kevin Boone, CSX's executive vice president of sales and marketing, says the team has directly engaged rail union leaders in recent weeks. We just really want to start building on the relationships and the opportunities to find solutions that are in the best interest of our employees. It's going to be interesting to see how this all shakes out as a whole. That article you guys from JOC, UP confident rail labor issues will be resolved without a strike. I don't know what to think or say. I am just reporting this article as a whole, but I think if Ari Ash is putting himself out there on where they are, that they'll come to an agreement. I just don't see that they're going to let this fall apart again. I mean, there's already been enough press on this one. They'll get these last deals hashed out. I'm sure of it, and they'll avoid a strike as a whole. All right, third and final article. TTnews.com. FMCSA Chief Robin Hutchison prioritizes parking, workforce, and supply chain. Enhancing parking availability for the nation's truck drivers and ensuring the workforce operates in an efficient supply chain top the priorities for the premier trucking official. In a wide-ranging interview with Transport Topics, Robin Hutchinson, the newly confirmed administrator for the FMCSA, pointed to the resources the Biden administration is directing towards state agencies, lacking on-the-job available parking for women and men driving commercial trucks have consistently ranked among the industry's top issues. We're already starting to see good movement, some positive movement in our commitment to improve truck parking. It's a safety issue. We have heard from drivers across the country that cannot find a place to rest. When they do, there's sometimes places where they don't feel safe or secure for the moment. So we have a safety imperative to continue to raise up. This is top priority. Yes, I would say that this is great to see that this is up there. I don't want to claim credit, but somebody has been bringing this up pretty much every day for the last 150 fucking days. But it's good to see that Robin Hutchinson is doing it. But again, it's easy to talk about this shit. It's going to be great to see if it's actually rolled out and what it can do for the industry as a whole. Last month, the U.S. Department of Transportation connected state officials with additional guidance and resources to tackling the parking woes. Transportation agencies Florida and Tennessee have received nearly $40 million for the expansion projects. The grants were made available partly via the $1 trillion Infrastructure Jobs Act. Also linked are additional policy remedies for increasing diversity industry-wide to promote the representation of women that are out there, reviewing opportunities to enhance safety training, mentorship for women in the trucking industry, which is good. We need to see this industry expand out and get as many people as possible out there. Endorsement of the board has been given by a myriad of stakeholders, such as the ATA, which is their conference is going on in San Diego right now. And they launched a Women in Motion, which is to amplify the contributions of women as well as companies adopting and pursuing practices of hiring women. Also, the Women in Trucking organization as a whole with Ellen Voya. And then I believe I'm drawing a blank on the name of it right now, but Christy Nickel and God damn it, I'm drawing a blank on her name. I feel terrible right now. Nicole Glenn and Christy Nickel are also involved in another women organization for trucking as a whole. So again, to find out more about that stuff, you guys get in contact with them and help them out. Let me see. I'm just going to skim through some of this stuff here. Currently moving of freight, Hutchinson pointed out ongoing efforts by the and collaborating Federal government citing investments associated with IIJA. Let me see. It's bound up with the flow of initiatives and information. So I'm just skimming through a lot of this stuff, you guys. Obviously, trucking is an incredibly important link to the supply chain. 75% of goods moved by truck, Hutchinson said, noting that an influx of this funding dedicated for enhancing the nation of commercial corridors. We sit on the supply chain disruption task force, playing our part here. That means that we're looking from all angles. How do trucks interact with the ports? How do trucks interact when they're moving through country, state to state? And yeah, so it's a good article as a whole. And ttnews.com, FMCSA Chief Robin Hutchinson prioritizes parking, workforce, and supply chain as a whole. It's going to be really good to see what they're going to do about some of the other key issues that the industry is facing, like the reincarnation of carriers. There's been a lot of reports out there. I mean, obviously double brokering is what it is, you guys. There is always going to be an issue, but I think like a solid way for you to deter them is to stop rushing through what you're doing. Because if they're trying to get you off the phone, if they're just trying to get the price, they're trying to just get little information from you for them to go post it up and see. And again, like, how are you requiring people to haul your freight? If they're set up with you, are you just like, boom, I'm going to assign it, move on? Are you doing your due diligence? Are you seeing if there's any reports out there? Again, we need to dive in deep to this because I'm drawing a blank on the company's name, but there's a very large company out right now where they busted somebody who was using their information and stealing freight and double brokering it through them. And if it can happen to this company, it can happen to anybody. And you just got to be aware of this stuff, you guys. Like, criminals are going to be criminals no matter what fucking rules and laws and stuff that you put out there. But I think do your own due diligence. All right. Do your own due diligence. And it's very hard to negotiate with somebody who knows what they're talking about. Okay. Or use a specific onboarding software, brokercarrier.com, that can help you alleviate all of this stuff as a whole. Just saying. Oh shit. Kyle's in the car. Great minds think alike, sir. Great minds think alike. Or use an onboarding service and we'll catch them for you. Yeah, exactly. Just saying. And then also, you guys, as we're kind of closing out today, there'll be another new podcast episode released tomorrow on the Coffee with the Freight Coach podcast. And then also, you guys, with Broker Carrier, as a lot of you know, I do have a freight brokerage, an active freight brokerage. We are moving freight. I am in the day-to-day trenches with you. I am no longer doing consulting work. All right. My business and stuff has focus. I am going to continuously show up and do the media and the social media portion of this, guys, because it's a fucking marketing machine. All right. And then also with Broker Carrier. So if you want to work with me on a one-on-one basis, all of my coaching is going to be exclusively through Broker Carrier now. What is that is for? That is for all of our paying clients that are on there. I try not to do a ton of sales pitches out there, but frankly, I got to put this out there because the value is fucking exponential. And as a tech company, we are investing in our clients where we are bringing on subject matter experts every single month in our monthly mastermind for our paying clients. And we are going to talk about tangible steps to build your companies out. We are going to go through sales training, operations training. We're going to teach you about insurance. We're going to bring factoring companies on there, technology companies, other ones besides us, to talk about a lot of this stuff to help elevate our clients' business. All right. So that's where a lot of that is going to be done, you guys. And this next one's coming up on November 5th. And we're going to be talking about insurance, what the document means as a whole for you as a broker. What questions can you ask? A lot of things to help you avoid a lot of the pitfalls that we find ourselves in. So we're all about education, you guys, at the end of the day. But that's it for today. The Freight Coach Morning Show. We are the top morning show in transportation. We are live every single weekday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific, 10:30 Central. And if you see value in this, you guys share the show. If you can do your boy a solid, if you follow me on other platforms like YouTube and Spotify or iTunes, if you could rank the show on there, I would be greatly appreciative of that, because that just helps it. That's helped these algorithms go and reach a broader audience as a whole, you guys. But that's it for today. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys, and we'll be talking to you soon. Now we